What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. As you probably already know, unless you're living under a rock or have your head stuck deep in the sand, the world is falling apart. Right now, we have a wide open southern border with hundreds of thousands coming across every single month. We have the dollar collapsing, losing value. We have Russia, China, Brazil, India, the BRICS nations building their own empire, pretty much their own hegemony, and dumping the US dollar. We have a out of control federal government. We have potential war with Russia, potential war with China. We have right now Israel being attacked. So if you think that nothing is going on, that nothing ever happens, then you must be stupid. It's just because there's all kinds of things going on right now that could definitely balloon out into horrifying events that will affect you and I. So if you're not prepping, not stockpiling, not training, not getting skills, not trying to learn, and you still think that nothing's going to happen, I don't know what to tell you all, because it's right in your face. And you know, if you've been told and you've had time and you've had the means especially to do something, and if you haven't done anything, then it's on you. It's not on anyone else. If you suffer, it's on you. I've been prepping for a long time, and I still prep, I still stockpile, I still replace things I've used. And right over here is what I've been stockpiling over the last 3 weeks or so. This isn't a week, this is, or not one trip. This has been about 3 weeks of buying and stockpiling and replacing things that I've used. So we'll take a look at that and hopefully give you some ideas to help you prep better too. Go out today and buy everything you can that you're going to need in the future, because you're not wasting your money. You're just buying it now to use it later. You're buying extra. So buy what you typically buy, what you actually need, and keep stockpiling and building on that every time you go to the supermarket. If you can only afford 3 or 4 cans of canned food, you know, a bag of rice, a bag of beans, then get that. And when you go back next week, get a few more, because you know, you might not be prepped for a year. However, over time you can build that up, and when something does happen, which is happening right now, but when the balloon finally does pop and you can't find, you know, any more food, what's going to cost, you know, $75 to $150, $2,000, whatever, for, you know, a can of beans because of hyperinflation, if you could even find it. So stockpile what you can afford, and build on that as much as you can. That way, when the balloon does pop, and it's popping right now, it seems, you'll have at least something, maybe a few weeks supply. A few weeks supply beats having nothing. This is serious. A lot of people look at prepping as being a hobby. It's not a hobby. This is serious life and death type stuff, and you better start taking it seriously, because the suffering is coming. A lot of people are suffering right now financially, but it's going to get much, much worse. But anyways, I'm going to turn the camera around and walk over here and look at what I've bought over the past 3 weeks or so. Might be about 3.5 weeks, I guess it's been. And hopefully give you some ideas of what you might need. Okay guys, here is a wide shot of everything I've purchased over the last 3.5 weeks for my prepping stockpile, to replace things that I've used, because you don't put this food and things back for your prepping supplies and not actually use those. You put those things back and you use on a first in, first out basis, continuously using, replacing, and rotating. Over here you see we have canned food, obviously, and canned food has been a staple product for preppers for ever since there's been such a thing as prepping per se. Canned food has been one of the main things that preppers stock up on, and for good reason, because it has a good shelf life. You can get a wide variety of different foods. You can get whole meals, like chicken noodle soup here, in cans. And they have their own water supply and great storage life, actually. They recommend, you know, you use these by the best buy date. And that doesn't mean that the food in these cans is any good after the best buy date. That just means that you might lose some of the nutritional value that's listed on the back of the can. These cans will last a lot longer than most people think they will. As long as the can is good and solid, intact, and there's no leaks or anything like that, no rust or anything, then the food is good. If you pop this top and you hear it go, then that's also a good sign. If the food smells good, that's a good sign. So don't worry as much about the best buy dates, because that's just a recommendation, because most people don't stockpile anything. They want to just have a few cans, and if these go past the best buy date, a lot of people will throw these out. And that's unfortunate because the food is still yet perfectly fine, perfectly safe, and perfectly healthy. So canned food typically, that I've found, will last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years or even more, as long as the can is in good shape. There's no rust through, there's no spillage or anything like that, any leaks, and the can's not dented or anything like that, and you open it up and the food smells good, looks good, then it's good to go. You can see here I like pinto beans because they are cheap right now, still yet, fortunately. These I think were like 79 cents a can, I think it was, and I buy these usually in this 12 can case like this. And I like pinto beans, you can see. I eat pinto beans several times a week. And chicken noodle soup, more pinto beans, more chicken noodle soup, more chicken noodle soup, just different kinds. So you can tell I really like pinto beans and chicken noodle soup. So we have mac and cheese. This type here isn't the best for storage, but I found this will store for a couple of years, it seems, without any issues as far as the cheese goes. For long-term storage, the powdered cheese is actually better, but I like this, the taste of this better, so I stockpile some of this. But I'd also always use and rotate, this right here. Rice is excellent because of the long storage life. You can see here, these are the 20-pound bags of rice. Right here, see 20 pounds. I forget the exact price on these right now, guys. I should have kept my receipts and went down the receipt and told you all the prices of these. But you can see here I have 20, 40, 60 pounds of rice, plus 2 smaller bags of brown rice over here. A 20-pound bag of pinto beans. See, more pinto beans because pinto beans are excellent because they fill you up and they have a lot of protein and things to keep you going. And we have toilet paper and paper towels. Like I said, use and replace. I picked this up because I know from the COVID debacle that we had and all the lockdowns, this right here disappears very, very quickly during any type of catastrophe or even potential threat. Toilet paper and paper towels are off the shelf. So I already have a good stockpile of these, but I went ahead and got some more because, you're always using this stuff and you should always be, like I said, using and replacing. So we have toilet paper, paper towels, and paper towels. Over here is some over-the-counter medication, some Benadryl. As you can see here, Benadryl. We have some Visine and some Advil. Now guys, this Food Saver vacuum sealer, I had this already. This isn't part of this other stuff here that I purchased over the last few weeks. I've actually had this for about 8 or 9 years actually. And if you are stockpiling food for long-term storage, one of these is definitely recommended. And actually, I think a must because the things you can do with this, it's just completely awesome. You vacuum seal your own food using these bags, which essentially means taking all the air out, and it will definitely extend, your shelf life of your food storage and pretty much everything else. You can use this on a lot of different things too. Vacuum seal. You can vacuum seal matches, for example, ammunition, whatever, and it will keep that in the best shape that it can be for as long as possible. Definitely recommend it. You can see over here I've been vacuum sealing a few things already here, and these are going to go in the buckets. You can see here the 5-gallon buckets. We have Mylar bags, we have oxygen absorbers, and we have the screw off type lids. So I have 6 more buckets outside in the building we'll bring in here and fill up with this rice and these beans and things. Anyway, mason jars. Right now, I found these on sale at Walmart, and these are definitely recommended, especially if you garden, because you need to be able to can your own produce, and these jars can get difficult to find, especially in the springtime and during the fall. However, I found these because people got all their harvest off pretty much now and all their canning done, so now they're putting these out and offering these on sale, so these are great to stock up on too. If you have a butane gas cooking stove, I recommend stocking up on these. I have about 40 of these already. However, I bought 2 more cans the other day. And guys, over here we have the fun stuff. We have 12 gauge shotgun ammunition, number 6 shot. I think number 6 shot is one of the most versatile shot sizes for all the run usage on small game and things. And you can see here, it's actually the high brass You can see the brass here. I prefer the low brass actually, but it's what they had, so I picked these up, these 2 boxes here, 25 rounds each, and very good for small game and protecting your garden and things like that from pests and crows and things. And actually good for some limited self-defense. And speaking of self-defense, here is Winchester, 5.56, 62 grain, 3,060 feet per second. This is the M855 green tip ammunition. You can see here the green tip. This is the standard military ammo right here. Each one of these boxes has 150 rounds. You can see here 150 round range pack. These 4 here costed me over $500. I think it was close to 600 bucks for these 4 right here. And like I said, 150 rounds each. Military green tip ammunition. And over here is 2 speed loaders for my Smith & Wesson 38 hour weight, which I carry everywhere I go in my pocket. So you need one of these. I got 2 of these. If you have a revolver, but it expedites quick reloading. If you need to reload that, it helps to reload it quicker under stress. You can see here, that's kind of how it works right there. You put your ammo in here already and turn it to lock that in. Then you just swing your cylinder out and dump your spent cartridges and stick this back in and twist this knob, and all 5 rounds or 6 if you have a 6-shot revolver will fall into the cylinder, seal it back up, and you're good to go. Anyways, guys, that's it. That's what I purchased over the last 3.5 weeks. Hope this helps give you some ideas what you might need. But definitely be stockpiling and doing what you can to get ready, because hard times are definitely here. But unfortunately, it's going to get much, much worse before it gets any better, if it ever gets any better the way it's looking. So, stockpile basic foods, ammunition, ways to store food, things to wipe your butt, things to wipe your hands with, over-the-counter medications, ammunition, spare magazines, speed loaders, butane fuel, Coleman fuel, whatever you use to cook with for your backups. But anyway, guys, hope this helps. If it did, give the video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching. Emily Creekmore, I'm out here, and I'll see you all in the next video, hopefully.